Hi, I'm Susan Papanicholas from How Does Your Garden Grow in Seattle, Washington, and I'm here today in my own garden with my dog Albert. It's the end of August, and I wanted to show you one of my favorite plants to use to add color and flowers into the garden at this time of year. These are black-eyed Susans, or Rudbeckia fulgida. This variety is called Goldstrum, and it's the most common one that you see available in the nurseries. It's very, very easy to grow, and as you can see, it really can make a big impact in the garden at this time of year. This all came from one gallon pot about 4 years ago, so you can see it can spread really widely in your garden. Black-eyed Susans bloom for a really long time, starting in about July and blooming all the way through September. As the individual flowers start to die back, the petals will turn brown. And when that happens, rather than cutting the stem back and deadheading the plant, I like to pull the petals off, which is a quick and easy thing to do. And that way you're still left with this little black button center, and that's where the seeds are. I think that this looks really beautiful throughout the fall, and it gives a great autumn interest into the plant as the plant starts to decline at that time of year. And the birds love these seeds, so you're also providing a food source for the birds in your garden. And you're leaving the plant up and graceful looking instead of deadheading it and starting to chop it down, which can get a little bit ungainly looking. As we get into winter and the foliage really starts to decline and these start to break off and the birds are done eating them and it looks kind of crummy overall, that's when I'll come in and cut the whole plant back to the ground. Then it'll stay pretty low. You'll have a few leaves still up throughout the winter that'll be green, but mostly you won't really see it. I have a few plants planted in here that do bloom in the winter, so this space isn't completely bare at that time of year. And then in the spring it'll start greening up again and bushing up, and it'll start sending up its flower stems in the middle of summer. Black-eyed Susans can spread pretty vigorously in the garden, but I haven't had them become a problem in any of my clients' gardens. When they start growing out of the bounds of where we would like to keep them, we usually just dig along the perimeter and take divisions of that plant. You could plant it somewhere else in your garden or give it to a friend for them to plant in their garden and keep your cluster as compact or as large as you want it to be. Black-eyed Susans are a really easy, great way to have a long season of bold color in your garden, and they add a lot at a time of year when you want to be outside and enjoying the sunshine without having to do a lot of fussing around with your plants. I first fell in love with black-eyed Susans before I was even a gardener because I had had an eye injury, and my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband, brought me a big, huge bouquet of black-eyed Susans because my eye looked horrible at that time. So I've always had a soft spot in my heart for these plants. I'm Susan Papanicholas from How Does Your Garden Grow, helping you make the most of your garden.